Today we have Carol Mendoza. Carol is our seminar guest speaker, and we are so happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you meet Dr. Yelian?
My husband and I, our journey started around 7 years ago. We realized that we needed more help conceiving through IVF and that process. And so we researched different doctors specializing in IVF in the area. And I heard about natural IVF, and that led me to Dr. Yelian. And meeting him was wonderful. Attending a free seminar myself, and then meeting him afterwards. That's when my husband and I decided to go with him because of his approach to the IVF process, his passion for his work, and he told us that he really wanted us to have a child, and that meant everything to us.
You had actually gone to 4 different doctors before coming to Dr. Yelian.
Meeting those 4 doctors, we really got a chance to know what they offered, and I can say that most of the doctors we met just offered conventional IVF, which was really scary to us because, that being the only option and at the cost that they were offering it, we just really needed to know what else was out there. You just never know what you're going to need, and with Dr. Yelian, who offers so many different options, it's kind of a win-win situation because if one thing doesn't work, you can try something else. And in my mind, I really liked that.
What would you say to those patients that are currently going through infertility that have been waiting for 3, 4, 6 years like you at one point? What would you say? Going back to that time, how did you feel and what did you do to try to cope through that process?
Yes, well, just having you say it just brings me right back there, and it's so hard. So just to know, first be gentle with yourself, and I'm hoping that you would have the support that I had. My husband and I, we were in it together, and we were in it to win it, for lack of a better phrase, I guess. So that's the first thing. The support is paramount. The second thing, which I learned before I came to Dr. Yelian, was Resolve, which is the National Infertility Association. They're committed to helping couples of any kind achieve their dreams. And through them, I attended support groups and I got a lot of information. I still keep in touch with a lot of ladies through Facebook. It's really hard to go through this process without something else, which is, in my case, therapy. To be able to process what's happening is really important. Whether it be with a friend who understands, or a family member, a partner, or a therapist. There are a lot of therapists who specialize in infertility, and that's very helpful. Those can be found through Resolve or just a general search.
That's great advice for all those women that indeed don't know where to go and are sometimes afraid to just share it with even your own family or friends and relatives. It's something that it's not so easy to express and say. So just so you all know, we are a part of Resolve. They definitely help a lot of patients, and we partner with them as well. Tell us a little bit about finally finding Dr. Yelian. So you finally found him. What made you decide that Life IVF Center was going to be the center that was going to help you conceive?
Well, it was him. That's just what made the decision for me and for my husband. Just meeting him, talking to him, which I think we got 15 minutes after the free seminar, and that was enough to make the decision for us. What he said during the free seminar really struck a chord with us. It gave us all the information we needed to know, more than the other doctors had told us, even though they didn't offer seminars. And we were excited to start the journey with Life IVF.
But I know that you started treatment in March or April of 2015.
Wow. Okay.
So it kind of, and it definitely, you do need to prepare. As you know, there's a few things that we share in the seminar to kind of prepare our patients to get ready to start the IVF process. So that can take 2-3 months, depending, of course, on our patient schedule. So you did one minimal stimulation IVF cycle using some Clomid and about, to be exact, 600 units of Follistim, which is not a lot, you guys, compared to conventional. Like you were saying, conventional IVF is basically what's offered out there, and that is a series of way over 600 units. We're talking about thousands of units of injection, of units of gonadotropins. Have you ever had that experience of giving yourself injections? Did you learn on the process? Tell us a little bit about your first experience.
So my husband is a nurse, and so he was the one who gave me the injections. I wasn't able to do it myself. I know some ladies who do, and that's, hats off to them. It's really difficult, but it can be done, and the nurses are really good about instructing you on how to give the shots here.
So your husband was the one that was giving you the injections and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's technically, that's why we love to have them here,
Yes.
because they're the ones that are going to sometimes get the information that the wife couldn't get because she was so nervous with the teaching.
Exactly.
So it's always good to bring your partner to the first time cycle day 3 appointment, because you'll definitely be educated, and it's a team, right? It's a team.
Yes.
This was your first IVF cycle, right?
Yes, yes.
So I'm sure there was a lot of emotions going through.
Well, being completely honest, it was scary. What I liked about the retrieval here, like IVF, was that they don't recommend any sort of anesthesia, which is good.
Yeah.
I really liked that. But that didn't make it any less painful. I think it's important to let people know that it's hard. And afterwards I felt like a piece of me was missing.
Oh.
But I knew that I was excited to find out what was going to happen after that.
So that's what kind of kept you going, right?
Yes.
Your hope and your faith that would potentially be end up a baby. So
Yes. Throughout the whole process, that's what we were holding on to.
You were always
Yes.
looking.
Yes.
So your first egg retrieval is done, and what was the outcome of that?
So Dr. Yulian retrieved 5 eggs, and then they were fertilized through ICSI, and we were notified through email by the embryologist. It turned out that every embryo made it, and so that was really exciting.
That's awesome. Carol, tell us about your first embryo transfer. We did one frozen embryo transfer using some hormone replacement. We used some estradiol, some progesterone to help you prepare for the transfer. That first transfer took, right?
Yes.
And did you cheat by any chance?
No, but I really do believe in the power of positive thought. I think that goes a long way, and for me, being a member of a church, having people pray for us, not telling them what it was, but just prayers helped, or positive thought, whatever your belief is.
Good. Carol, tell me your most memorable experience at Life IVF Center.
My most memorable experience is today. Coming back to speak, having my children, just coming back to the place that helped me achieve my dreams. That's what it is.
That's really sweet, yes. Now, going to embryo transfers, Carol, I know that now the outcome is one beautiful babe newborn.
Yes.
She is 3 months, and then your 2-year-old toddler. How is life now?
Life is very full, but it's wonderful. There's lots of hard moments even now, but it's where I want to be, and they're my children, and I can't replace that ever.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, Carol. We really appreciate you doing this, and we're just so excited to have you back. You are invited to our baby reunion.
Yay!
We will be having a baby reunion this May 6, 2018, and we are just so grateful and so honored to have that day come soon enough and just see everybody come along, and just I think that makes our jobs so much more meaningful to see what we've all accomplished as a team, and we're just so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.